What's going on, guys? Welcome to Rants Red Talk, where we discuss the topics that you send through to me on Twitter. And yeah, before we get going, big up to everyone that came to the trials yesterday. United Stand FC trial day. Had a load of people, some ballers there. The team's looking solid, bruv. The kits are going to be released soon, in the next couple weeks. But the trial day went well. We had some ballers there. The squad's looking solid. We're going to be a force, bro. We're definitely not turning up anywhere to get rolled over, man. And I think they've got the AFTV rematch in the pipeline and a few other games. So yeah, keep an eye on the socials for that. But hey, let's get into it. The first one here is at Pucky_face. Will the Glazers splash the cash this summer? Okay, I've said this before and I'll say it again. They always back their manager, innit? Whether or not they keep the trust with the manager is a different ball game. I think the fact that we're going to have a brand new manager going into this winter window means that we're going to spend peas in it. Put 200, 250. Like, there'll be players coming out, there'll be players coming in. Whether it's 250 net spend or 250 on top of whatever we make and then redistribute towards the squad, I don't know, innit? But like, if you look at the Moyes tenure, they backed him, and we actually had a bid for Gareth Bale accepted for over 100 million, and Gareth Bale chose to go to Real Madrid, so they were willing to spend that 100 M's on Gareth Bale. Ended up getting fucking Fellaini and Mata in, but Moyes was backed to bring in the players that he wanted. It's just that the players didn't end up coming in it, but the funds were made available. Same with LVG. He spent over 250 million in the couple windows that the couple seasons that he had. And then Snoreen spent over 400 mil in his time. So you have to look at it and say that these man do back their managers and spend peas, bruv. Like, they backed him to bring in Pogba. Obviously, Pogba was coming in anyway. They backed man to bring in Alexis in Jan. Zlatan came in on very big wages. He was on probably as much as Alexis is on now because we got him for free. So we have been spending peas. Remember, Di Maria coming under LVG as well. So whether or not that's the LVG signing or not, I think that their marquee signings do stink of Ed Woodward. However, them man have proven that they're willing to spend bread. So with a brand new manager coming in, I feel like they have to and they will back, man, innit? So I expect 3 to 4 players to come in the summer. Let me know what you think, guys. Do you think we're going to splash, or do you think it's going to be another one of them tight windows? All right, following on from that question, we have at U4 Life MAN. It says Man United for life. What's an ideal summer transfer window for you? For me personally, bro, I'm thinking we need a right back, because as good as Dallo is, I don't think he's ready to start week in, week out for us at right back. So I'd sign Wan-Bissaka at right back. I think we need a centre half. I'd sign Coulibaly. I think it's between Coulibaly and McGwire. I do. I think that those are the two centre backs we're probably looking at. All this Varane stuff is probably nothing more than him wanting to get a new contract. Them man always use us. We need not get sucked in, guys. People always do that. A replacement for Matic in midfield. I think we need a midfielder. I would sign Ndombele, and then we need a right winger as well, blood. So I would sign Jadon Sancho. And for me, I'll be cool with that, but I think we need a right winger, a centre mid or a DM. We need a centre back and we need a right back. Like, if we get those 4 things, I think it's a wavy summer, yeah? Well, okay, cool. I think it's a wavy summer if we get these man. But me personally, I'd shift Lukaku as well, and I'd get another attacking player in, blood. I'd probably break the bank for Antoine Griezmann. If we sold Lukaku and say we got 60 M's, I would drop like 150 million on actually no, Griezmann would cost about 100 M's, blood. So I'd spend 100 million on Griezmann, and I'd spend like 70 million on Sancho if that's what they wanted. Pounds, I don't give a fuck. I'll drop 170 on them too, because I think that buys man the title. I think it does, with a centre back, a midfielder and a right back. I think we are 5 players off from our starting 11 being able to compete with any team in Europe, bruv. Like, I think we're 5 players off, if I'm honest. So that's an ideal window for me. But I do think that we'll probably keep Lukaku for 1 more season, and I'd say a right winger, a central midfielder. I'm hearing Tony Cruz's name mentioned a lot. I'm not getting too carried away. I think it could happen, but I don't think it will happen. But like, I think a centre mid, a right winger, a centre back, and a right back, and that's a good window for us. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Do you agree with them 4 positions? Where else would you look to strengthen? Bearing in mind, I think we're gonna get 4 players tops. At Mechanic 85, is there any legitimate way we can get rid of Sanchez without paying him 50 million? Bro, I don't even know. Like, we need to get rid of Sanchez because he's dead food, innit? Like, he's real dead food. Like, he hasn't even shown a glimpse of what we signed, and I just think if we can get rid of man, even if it means we just loan him out and pay half his wages, even half, just getting half a man's wages off the wage bill is going to be massive, because he's on massive money. The money he's on is clearly causing unrest in the dressing room, because man, I know him what peas he's on. I'm thinking, yo, this done shit. I want this money. The reason why this De Gea thing's happening, the reason why this Herrera thing's happening, is because he fucked up the wage structure. Because ain't no one supposed to be on more money than Pogba and De Gea at the club. Definitely not more money than Pogba. So if Pogba's on 220 grand a week, like, no one ain't supposed to be on more than that. No one. Do you know what I mean? Like, worst case scenario, David De Gea could maybe get a 300 in it, because his is a new contract and Pogba still needs to renew his. But ain't no one supposed to be on 300 bags at the club at the moment, bruv. Because probably Pogba and De Gea are the only people worthy of that. So the fact that Sanchez is on like 350 is a fucking mockery, bro. Now, he needs to get out the door. Whether we loan man or we sell him to fucking Pot Noodle FC or something, it doesn't matter. We need to get rid of Mowgli, bruv. He's dead food. Man's just out here. Like, these are the most expensive piano lessons that man's ever paid for, innit? Like, we haven't got... I can't even say, like, what's your greatest Sanchez memory? Leave it in the comments. Because for me, probably the header against Tottenham in the FA Cup, bruv. That's all I can remember him giving us, blood. Like, since he's come, nothing. Like, not even a piece of skill where I thought, right, like, man, I've got a worldie. Now, when I think about Sanchez and what man's given us, I can only think about that Tottenham game. Like, the guy's been an absolute fail. As far as Manchester United signings, this has to be the worst ever. Just based on the fact that all the anticipation, the gas with the piano, what he done with Arsenal before when we thought he got a certified worldie, the fact that he's on the most money, the fact that he took the number 7 shirt. Do you know what I mean? Martial was sitting on the bench. Like, when you factor in all of those things, I think that Sanchez has to be the worst signing in the history of the club, bruv. If you agree, let me know. If you don't agree, let me know, bruv. Jump down in the comment section and, yeah, keep it interactive, man. Who do you think is the worst signing in the history of the club, bruv? I think definitely post-Fergie era, he's the worst signing. And I would argue that probably in the Premier League era, blood, he's got to be the worst signing for us, just based on all the factors I've listed. And we have at Rowe, Obaga, Coulibaly or McGwire. I have a feeling it will come down to United picking one of those two. Okay, so it depends what you're thinking, innit? I think that McGwire will be cheaper. McGwire's English. And from a Premier League, winning a Premier League point of view, I think McGwire is good enough to, if we had McGwire and Lindelof, man, are cool. However, if we're thinking about Champions Leagues, top end, yeah, like, man, it has to be Coulibaly. It has to be in it, just based on that. Because I just think that his athleticism and everything like that, to add to his technical ability, bro, like, just takes him a level above McGwire, innit? I think that you can have McGwire as your leading centre-back to win the Premier League, cool. But when you're coming up against the Barças, the Real Madrids and that, like, I worry about some of these, man, because what a lot of people don't realise is, like, yeah, you can be Premier League class, but then there's a couple levels above that. Do you know what I mean? There's a couple levels, man. You've got your top level that Ronaldo and Messi are at. Then you've got the level below, what I call the elite level, and then you've got the Premier League level, bruv. Like, and I just think that Maguire is a Premier League level. I think that Coulibaly is probably an elite level centre-back. So that's how I differentiate. It's just like the other day in the last video, I was talking about Raheem, yeah? And then he went and bagged a hat-trick. I think it was against Czech Republic or something like that in a nothing game, bruv. And I'm a big fan of Sterling. I think he's a top player, but I think he's a top Premier League player. International football is very deceptive, yeah, outside of major tournaments, because you play against a lot of teams that either like they've rested bare man, or there's bare rotation, or you're playing in some shitty qualifier that don't mean nothing. When you look at Wayne Rooney's goal record in qualifiers, it was amazing. And when you look at his goal record in major tournaments, it was shit blood. Like, man got 1 World Cup goal in his whole career, and man were calling him an elite level centre forward. For me, if you're an elite level centre forward, you have to do it in the big tournaments. Like, you have to. Like, there's nothing in the big tournaments, and even in the Champions League, when I look at Rooney's Champions League record, it's not great, bruv. Like, Ruud van Nistelrooy in 4.5 seasons, like, scored like an amount of goals that it took Wayne Rooney 12 years to match. Do you know what I mean? So when I look at elite level players, man have to differentiate. Like, when doesn't mean man shit. I just mean when you're Premier League level, like you're Premier League level. Like Dele Alli is looking all Premier League level and that, but then when he played for England in the World Cup again, he didn't do nothing. Like, Raheem Sterling had an amazing season World Cup, yeah, but then when it came to the World Cup, he didn't show up. So, like, I still think he's a wavy baller, but I think until you prove yourself at a major tournament and make an impact and do something, yeah, like, the jury will always be out for me, innit? Because I grew up watching elite level footballers, respecting elite level footballers, bruv. And when I was growing up, the Premier League wasn't necessarily the best league in the world, bruv. It wasn't. Like, you had La Liga, and also you had Serie A, blood, when we had the big bad boys in the 90s. And for me, the level of the Prem is high now, because a lot of money and they're outspending people. In terms of being competitive, it's very high, innit? But it ain't like that Serie A league, bruv. That Serie A league was different. So when I'm judging players, I'm judging players based on that, bruv. I'm not judging players based on Premier League stats. I'm not basing it on nothing. I'm basing it on, at the top level, what are you giving, man, innit? And I think that Coulibaly will give us more than Harry Maguire. But at the same time, I would take Harry Maguire, because I think that he's got a high ceiling. He's a ball-playing centre-back. And if we've got 2 ball-playing centre-backs, him and Lindelof, the build-up play, the way we attack, it would just benefit the team. It would benefit the team massively, instead of, obviously, Smalling, when he gets on the ball, man has to do like a 3-point turn before he can pass it and that. So as much as Smaldini is doing all right at the moment, either of them two would do me. Let me know in the comment section below, guys. Who would you choose? And we've got @HeelPope_. If you could bring back one player still active into the club that we have sold, who would it be? For me, it would have to be Wilfried Zaha, blood. I can't believe we let go of Wilf. You see the way our right side is bleeding now? Imagine Wilf, yeah, and Martial blowing down wings with Rashford down the middle. Like, man, I'm crying, innit? Like, I seen Wilf Zaha, yeah, like Kane Roman's ankles. Like, that's how mad it is. It's crazy. Man's catching bodies like a cheerleader, bruv. Like, it's crazy. Like, Wilf Zaha is mad, innit? Like, I seen all the potential. Like, when you look at his physique, the way he dribbles with the ball, the way he commits players, the way he takes them down the outside, he comes inside, he can play make, he can play in the middle, he scores goals, he does everything, bruv. And I just think he's got the confidence, he's got the arrogance, everything to be a Manchester United player. Like, Moyes fucked him over, innit? I'll never forgive Moyes for that. I believe that Wilf Zaha has all the tools. I would take him back for free now. I wouldn't buy him back. You know them ones. But, like, if man said you could have one back, it would have to be Wilf. You know what I mean? It was, when I thought about that question, I was thinking it had to be between him and Memphis. But because Memphis, like, plays centrally now, and that's not necessarily a position that we really need, and he plays on the left as well, and we've already got Martial, for me, it has to be Wilfried Zaha. Guys, let me know in the comment section, who would you bring back if you had one player? I was actually thinking, do we have a centre back or a midfielder that I could have brought back? But actually, not really, bruv. So I went for Wilf. Last one is from @GunnersBack. It says Sancho, Lozano or Griezmann. Jadon Sancho, you man already know that I think he's a wavy baller. 18 years old. We've got Sancho for 10 years if we sign him. I don't think there's any cons other than the fact that I think that we need ready-made world-class talent. I don't think he's there yet. However, if you get Jadon, like, we're bringing in someone that instantly, like, upgrades that right-hand side, innit? Lozano, I don't see the hype over, man. Like, he looks good in that, but for me, that Dutch league shit, innit? So I'll always have reservations with buying man from there. Like Mateo Kezman was the name that I forgot last time. Dirk Kuyt, there's bare man that look decent. And when I said Luis Suarez, yeah, hit the ground running. Luis Suarez is not Dutch, yeah, but he came from the Dutch league, blood. So man, do your research. Someone got in my comments and was like, Suarez ain't Dutch. I said came from Holland, bruv, from the Dutch league, blood, not Dutch players. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of Dutch players like Dirk Kuyt, like I said. It's not that he didn't have a decent career in England, he did, but he was bought as a striker to score goals, ended up playing as a fucking right back and that, like a donkey. So I think that league flatters to deceive. So with that in mind, I wouldn't even consider Lozano. And Antoine Griezmann, blood, is the truth. Like, I know Mark don't like Griezmann and he banters him, but for me, Griezmann is elite, bruv. Like, elite. If man saw the goal he scored the other day, Pogba with the little chocolate chip, bruv, over the top. Told man about Pogba, the finesse, bruv. His passing is something else. Griezmann on the volley, bins. Antoine Griezmann is what we need, innit? He's what we need. He's a big game player. He's an elite level player. He's in his prime. He's the finished article. If you sign Antoine Griezmann, you know that immediately, man don't need to acclimatise, nothing like that. He's done it at World Cup level, he's done it at Champions League level, done it at Europa level, and he does it at domestic level. He's done it at every level he's played at. Like, you can't argue Antoine Griezmann. So if I had to choose between the three of them, it would 100% be Griezmann, only because I feel like he's the only one there that is proven at every level, and we need elite ballers. Let me know in the comments, guys, which one of the three are you taking in if you only had to choose one? Boom. And that was your Red Talk. And as usual, you know your 20% off is in the comments or in the description even. Do you know what I mean? Big up everyone tagging me on Insta, telling me you got your bits, bruv. Like, I'm happy, innit? I'm happy you're getting your bits. Summertime's coming round as well, bruv. So man might have to jump on the tees soon. And boom, yeah, that was emotional, guys. It was a good one. Some very good questions today, man. And just a different angle. Obviously, it's international break. So it was good to kind of just have questions away from actual match performances and individual players and that, and just talk about the club in general. So that was wavy. Make sure you smash that like button if you haven't already. Make sure you sub, turn the notifications on for all your trolling needs. Hit up the socials at Rants and Bants on Twitter and Instagram. And also, like, obviously Heavy D was chatting shit. My guy is talking to the guy that knows the guy about getting a venue and that, bro. So I did say, yeah, don't hold your breath, yeah, this fight ain't gonna happen. But you know what? That boxing match could well happen, and it'll be good banter, make some money for charity and that. For a good cause, obviously. Yeah, I want to punch him in the face, but like, I want to do good at the same time. Not that punching him in the face wouldn't be good. Like, that's not what I'm saying. So, guys, yeah, it's been emotional. It's been good. And you've got your Flex and Rant show tomorrow. And yeah, I'm linking Flex later on actually to do our WTF and film that show. So look out on the socials. We're going to be sending out tweets for the questions. And yeah, keep it interactive, man. Always appreciate you.